Welcome to Behind the Books with Brandy, the podcast that makes taxes, bookkeeping, and small business finances easier to understand. Now here's your host, Brandy Bodine, owner of BB Taxes and Notary. Does tax season usually start with you digging through drawers, searching your email, and wondering where an entire year's worth of receipts went? If so, you are definitely not the only one. But here's some good news. Being prepared does not mean having a picture-perfect filing system. It just means simply having a place for all your records, knowing what changed during the year, and being able to talk with your tax professional, whether it's me or somebody else, before everything becomes an emergency. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you what your tax preparer wish you knew before tax season and what you can do to make the process smoother for everybody, especially you. Hey y'all, I'm Brandy Bodine, owner of BB Taxes and Notary, and welcome to Behind the Books with Brandy. This show is where we talk about taxes, bookkeeping, small businesses, and the real life happening all around it. No shame, no jargon overload, and no pretending that everybody has to be perfectly organized with a desk and a quiet house, because we know that's not possible. I'm a mother, a wife, a small business owner, and a homesteader, so I understand that paperwork has to be complete with clients. They have to compete really with your clients, your family, your chores, animals, or just whatever else that day decides to throw at you. So this podcast is about being practically informed that you can actually use the information right in the middle of your real life. For our first episode, I just kind of want to pull back the curtain on tax preparation. I'm going to walk you through 5 things that can reduce stress, prevent delays, and help you prepare to do better work with better information. I do want to let you know that this is only for educational purposes. I'm not giving any tax advice out today or legal counsel. Your facts matter, so I can't give you just an overall, but please reach out and let me know, and I will definitely help you. So let's get started. The first thing that your tax preparer wishes you knew is very simple. Do not wait till you have every document before you create a home for your tax information. Now, a home can be either a filing cabinet, a manila envelope, or even a secure digital folder on your computer. Please make sure it's secure though. We want to make sure that you have like password protection, VPN, anything that just somebody cannot walk through, click on it, and open it up. Now, it does need to be easy enough that you'll actually use it. So when a W-2, a 1099, a donation receipt, property tax statement, or a business record comes in, you put it right into that place. No questions asked, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, if it arrives electronically, we want to download it instead of assuming that it's just going to be in that old email or that online account file. The one exception to the rule is if you guys do a .me account, which I always recommend doing, that will actually keep all your information there, so go for it. Now, the goal is not perfection though. The goal is to stop tax information from living in one of 6 places, whether it's your kitchen counter, your glove box in your car, the email on your phone, a shoebox under your bed, the bottom of that big old Nanny McPhee purse, or that safe place that you never can remember later, which I am guilty of that. But here's your first actionable step. Choose your tax home today. Label it with 2026. Put your first documents in that. That 5-minute job can save a surprising amount of frustration later. The second thing that I wish people knew about doing taxes is that you don't need an elaborate scrapbook of your financial year. Yes, we need records that are complete, understandable, and connected. So I come up with a 4-part system that typically works for my household, and the fact that we have multiple small businesses on the property, it works out great. I put everything into 4 groups. Group 1 is all of our income. anything that shows that we've made income, whether it is the 1099 readout from my father-in-law's retirement account, or if it is the 1099K from my husband's business with his bait shop, or even if it is just my printout readouts from my QBO from where I've done taxes and worked with clients. All that gets printed off and placed into its own little filing folder. Group 2 is all of our expenses and our deductions. We have multiple businesses, so we have homesteading, so all of our pig feed records and everything go into it, all of our bank statements, credit card statements, anything that is going to help tell the story. It may not explain your business purposes, it may not explain why Sally had to spend $150 at Manning's Feed and Seed, but it is going to tell a story. Group 3 is your tax documents and notices. Nobody wants a tax document, but nobody wants to lose those tax documents. So you want to keep your prior year return, any estimated tax payments that you've done. If you get one of those pesky IPPIN numbers from the IRS database, you want to keep a copy of that, and then keep every letter from your taxing agency. Please never ignore it or leave it unopened. If it makes you nervous, bring it into BB Taxes and Notary. We're going to help you read that, because that mailing date matters. And lastly, Group 4 is all your questions and changes. Start a running note on your phone or even on a sheet of paper every time you think, ooh, I need to ask Brandy about that. Write it down. Questions are so much easier to answer when we know they actually exist. Now, this is going to be for my business owners. This is a big, big, big one. A profit and loss statement is important, but it is not automatically a complete tax file. Your books may show that you have income and expenses, but your preparer, they need that balance sheet details. They need to know about the assets that you've purchased, or the loans that you've paid on, or the loans that you've gained. They need to know how much you've contributed or how much you've pulled. They need to know if you've had any payroll, any inventory, inventory that may have died or are lost. They need to know all of that. And they need explanations for any unusual transactions, whether it is on your credit card statement, your bank statement, or just in your bookkeeping software. They need explanations. And if personal and business spending are mixed together, well, that cleanup's going to take longer because somebody has to figure out what each transaction actually was. So your best thing you can do to help you and your tax keeper or your bookkeeper is to separate those out. Have only one card or one account for business and have as many as you want for your personal. But before you hand over your books, you want to make sure your accounts are reconciled through the end of the year. Look for any duplicate transactions, uncategorized items, negative balances that don't make any sense, or, those pesky personal expenses sitting in the business category. If the books are not clean, say so. Say, hey, I need a cleanup. There's no shame in the cleanup game. The expensive and stressful part is waiting to the last minute and hoping that problem will disappear on its own. Tax returns are more than just forms. They're life changes. Everything you do can affect the questions that your preparer needs to ask, even when nothing obviously arrives in the mail. Tell your preparer about those changes. Tell them about the changes in your household, your income, your property, your business. That might include saying, hey, I got married, or hey, I lost 150 pounds or 250 pounds, I got a divorce, or look, I got a new baby, or hey, mom and dad had to move in with me. Are they dependents now? Or maybe you had to move, maybe you had a new job, maybe you decided to go out and work for yourself. We need to know those things as tax preparers. everything has a change. Now, not all changes are going to create a deduction, credit, or a tax problem, but the point is not to guess the tax result yourself. The point is to give your preparer enough information to ask all the right follow-up questions. A helpful habit? Write a short year in review, just as simple as, hey, we moved in June, my daughter started college, I opened a side business, bought a trailer. That small summary helps us see the story behind the forms. And fifth, the thing that your tax preparer wishes you knew is that early questions are always almost easier than late surprises. If you're thinking about starting a business, changing how you're paid, hiring somebody, buying equipment, selling property, taking money from a retirement account, or just making any other big financial move, before the paperwork is finished, talk to your tax accountant, advisor, preparer, planner, because tax planning happens before the year is over. Tax preparation happens after the facts already exist. Those are relative services, but they are not the same thing. Please don't hide a mistake because you're embarrassed. Tax professionals, we've seen it all. Missing records, mixed accounts, forgotten forms, unopened forgotten notices, or books that just need work. Honest information helps us help you. A surprise discovered at last seconds gives us a fewer or less choices than what we would like. Again, you do not need to know the right technical words. Just simply say, hey, here's what happened. I'm not sure what it means, but guess what? It's a perfect place for us to start. All right, so here we go. Let's make this a practical thing, right? Here are 3 things you can do this week. This is August 9th. Okay, guys, you guys can handle this. Number 1, I want you to create a physical or a digital folder for this tax year. Put all your documents that you already have into it. Okay? Easy peasy, right? You guys can get that down while we're talking. Number 2, write down the biggest changes in your house or your business or both throughout the year. Don't decide if they matter. It doesn't matter if they matter. Just make the list. And lastly, number 3, if you own a business, review your books now. If you have an accountant, reach out to that accountant and be like, hey, just a quick question. How are my books doing? What is my estimated tax payment? This is August. We should be working on our second estimated tax payment. Actually, we should have done that last month. So any of you guys that didn't do that, come on, let's talk about it. That's it. That's all you need to do. 1 folder, 1 change list, 1 review. You do not have to fix the whole year in 1 afternoon. If you remember nothing else from today, remember this. Your tax preparer is not looking for perfection. We are looking for complete information, honest communication, and enough time to do the work. Now that it's time for Brandy's mailbag, where we're going to slow down and kind of answer questions of the people after hearing today's topic. I've got Melissa from Georgia. She's asking, hey, my W-2 had not arrived. Should I file without it so I don't miss the deadline? Well, here, I would start by contacting the employer, asking for the missing or corrected form. If the IRS says that they don't have the W-2, you can use a different form, 4852, as a substitute for wages. Now, I do want to let you know that if you get a .me account from the IRS, that is going to be the best thing in your entire life, because that account not only allows you to see what your employer has already sent over to the IRS in your wages, but it also lets you see all kinds of different tax forms. So definitely if you don't do anything today, just do that. Go ahead and make an ID.me account. Check it if it's there. If it's not there, go ahead and call IRS at 800-829-1040 or make an appointment at the Taxpayer Assistance Center so that they can help you get that W-2. All right, so next person, Derek from Louisiana says, oh no, I've received an IRS letter and I'm so afraid to open it. Does every letter mean that I am audited? No. Oh no. An IRS notice can mean many, many things, like a change, a payment, missing information, or just another, hey, we have an information for you. The first step is always open it. Second step, read it. Third step, identify what the response date is, tax year, and what it's asking of you. Never ever send a response to a random address or a number found online. Always use the contact information printed on the notice. If you have any questions, you can always take it up to your local IRS tax office or even to your local taxpayer advisor center if you have one. All right, so last one here is from Carlos from Florida. He wants to know, how long do I really need to keep my tax paperwork? I am running out of room. Oh, Carlos, there's no one retention period, but I get it. I honestly would say, so my personal opinion is after about 2 years, I digitally scan everything in, and then I keep my digital copies pretty much indefinitely. As for my paper copies, 4 years. 4 years is the general needing to keep it. 7 years for some documents. So really, again, there's not a really retention period basis for it. It's just kind of between 4 to 7 years. So again, if you do it digitally, though, you can keep them forever and ever and ever. And that would be my personal opinion, is to go ahead and just keep them general. All right, so that is today's mailbag. If you have any general questions for a future episode, please send it in through our official BB Taxes and Notary contact channels. But please leave out all your Social Security numbers, account numbers, documents, and other sensitive details. Thank you once again for joining me on this very first episode of Behind the Books with Brandy. I'm glad that you were here. If this episode helped you, follow the show and don't miss our next conversation. And also send me your tax, bookkeeping, or small business questions that you'd like for me to cover in future episodes. But again, don't send any PII. If you need your help getting your books or tax information in order, again, contact BB Taxes and Notary through our official business site to discuss your situation, and we'll help with available services. Next time, we'll be talking about the difference between a business and a hobby, what people misunderstand, and why records matter, and why calling something a business doesn't actually settle that question. Until then, take care of yourself, take care of your books, and remember, there is real life behind every number. This podcast provides general educational information and is not individualized taxes, legal accounting, or financial advice. Tax rules and deadlines can change. Federal, state, and local requirements may differ. Consult a qualified professional about your specific facts. Thanks for joining us for Behind the Books with Brandy. Follow the show so you'll never miss an episode. And remember, good records, smart planning, and the right guidance can make all the difference. Until next time.